Good morning and welcome to SkyAlert USA, your trusted source for critical weather updates across the United States and Canada. I'm bringing you an urgent weather briefing for Sunday, February 8, 2026, as North America continues to battle one of the most significant winter weather patterns we've seen in years. Today's forecast brings dangerous cold, ongoing winter storm impacts, and critical developments that every viewer needs to know about. As we begin this Sunday morning, the United States and Canada remain locked in an extraordinary winter weather pattern dominated by a collapsed polar vortex and stratospheric warming event that meteorologists have been tracking for weeks. This is not your typical winter storm scenario. We're dealing with a complex atmospheric setup that's creating life-threatening conditions across multiple regions simultaneously. Right now, as of this morning, millions of Americans and Canadians are waking up to extreme cold warnings that stretch from the Canadian border all the way down to regions that rarely see such frigid temperatures. The eastern two-thirds of the United States is experiencing temperatures running 10 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit below normal for early February. Wind chills in some areas have plummeted to -20 to -30 degrees Fahrenheit, creating dangerous conditions for anyone who ventures outside. The aftermath of Winter Storm Fern continues to impact daily life across more than 20 states. This historic storm, which struck between January 23rd and 27th, brought catastrophic ice and snow from northern Mexico through the southern and northeastern United States into Canada. The recovery is far from over. As of this morning, power restoration crews are still working around the clock, with generator installations being the primary focus in states like Tennessee, Mississippi, and Louisiana. Then, just last week, a second major winter storm, an extremely rare bomb cyclone, slammed into the southeast, bringing record-breaking snowfall to areas completely unprepared for such conditions. Charlotte, North Carolina saw over 11 inches of snow, while coastal areas of the Outer Banks received unprecedented accumulations. Parts of North Carolina recorded over 22 inches, with some mountain areas seeing even more. But here's what's most concerning for today: the extreme cold persists. Cities across the Northeast are experiencing some of the coldest temperatures of the winter season. Toronto, Canada is currently sitting at -14 degrees Celsius, with wind chills making it feel closer to -20. Grand Rapids, Michigan recorded -19 degrees Fahrenheit just days ago, the coldest since 1994. Flint, Michigan hit -24 degrees, just 1 degree above their all-time record low. The National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center is actively monitoring ongoing snow across parts of New England this morning. While the heaviest precipitation has concluded for most of the central and eastern United States, snow showers persist in the Northeast, and we are tracking new developments for the days ahead. To understand what's happening, we need to talk about the polar vortex. This isn't just a buzzword, it's a critical atmospheric feature that's been completely disrupted. A stratospheric warming event has effectively split and collapsed the polar vortex by mid-February, and this is why we are seeing such persistent, brutal cold across such a wide area. Normally, the polar vortex acts like a fence, keeping the coldest Arctic air bottled up near the poles. But when it collapses, that fence breaks down, and all that frigid air comes streaming south. That's exactly what we're experiencing. The polar vortex split is meeting an unusual interference from the Madden-Julian Oscillation, a powerful tropical atmospheric wave. This is creating a tug-of-war in our atmosphere, with some areas experiencing brief warm-ups while others remain locked in a deep freeze. The stratospheric warming event that meteorologists confirmed for mid-February is now having its full downward impact on surface weather. While there was a temporary shield of warmer air over parts of the central United States earlier this week, the latest ensemble forecast models from the European Centre show a pattern reversal coming by the start of the last third of February. This means the brief respite from extreme cold is ending, and we are headed back into another round of Arctic air. Let me break down what's happening region by region across North America right now. In the Northeast United States, communities are still digging out from multiple snow events. Boston received 20 inches of snow from the recent nor'easter, and places like New York City and Philadelphia are dealing with slick roads and dangerous wind chills. Stay bundled up, because this cold is not letting go. Moving to the Midwest, after some record-breaking lows, there's a slight moderation in temperatures, but don't get too comfortable. That next wave of Arctic air is set to move in, bringing temperatures back down well below average. Chicago and Minneapolis, prepare for another blast. Out west, a different story is unfolding. A ridge of high pressure is bringing milder and drier conditions to California and the Southwest. However, the Pacific Northwest is getting clipped by a storm system, bringing rain to coastal areas and more snow to the mountains, which is great news for the ski resorts. So, the big takeaway is that this intense winter pattern, driven by the collapsed polar vortex, is going to stick around for a while longer. We'll be tracking these systems closely for you, so make sure you're subscribed for the latest updates. Thanks for watching. Alright, let's keep this weather update rolling and shift our focus to the Mid-Atlantic region, which is bracing for even more winter weather. Washington, D.C. has already seen nearly 7 inches of snow and ice, which was enough to shut down federal offices for multiple days. And just up the road, Baltimore-Washington International Airport recorded over 11 inches. The big story for the next few days will be the wind. We are forecasting gusts up to 50 miles per hour for parts of Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. This will create dangerous snow squalls and blowing snow, making travel extremely hazardous. So please, be careful out there. Moving down to the southeast, this region has been absolutely slammed by rare, historic snowfall. The Carolinas and Georgia saw snow totals that haven't been seen in generations. Can you believe it? Charlotte, North Carolina's 11+ inches was a true once-in-a-generation event. Even the Outer Banks of North Carolina, a coastal region, saw historic accumulations. Locals there described near-blizzard conditions with wind gusts over 60 miles per hour creating massive snow drifts. Nashville, Tennessee set a new precipitation record with nearly 2 inches, much of it freezing rain. Officials are calling it the worst ice storm for the region in decades. The impact has been severe. Nashville Electric Service recorded the highest number of power outages in its history, with 230,000 customers losing power at the peak. Statewide, over 250,000 people were in the dark. Now, let's head to the Midwest where the story continues to be extreme cold and relentless snow. Parts of Missouri and Illinois got over 14 inches of snow, with Fredericktown, Missouri, really getting buried. The Ohio Valley saw totals approaching 2 feet in some spots, with New Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, recording a staggering 23 inches. And Kansas City International Airport even set a new daily snowfall record with 5.2 inches. In the Plain States, it's all about the brutal, life-threatening cold. Wind chills have plunged into the -20s and 30s across a huge area. This isn't just uncomfortable, folks, it's dangerous. Frostbite can set in on exposed skin in less than 10 minutes under these conditions. And finally, a quick update for our neighbours to the north in Canada. You're dealing with very similar harsh winter conditions. The polar vortex collapse is keeping winter's grip firm across most of the population centres. Toronto, Ottawa, and Montreal are seeing frequent snow events as the storm track stays very active. Toronto is dealing with temperatures of -14 degrees Celsius today, with overnight lows expected to drop to -20. Stay warm, everyone. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more updates. Alright, let's look ahead to what the next 3 days have in store, because this wild weather story is far from over. Starting with Monday, February 9th, that severe cold isn't letting up across the eastern 2/3 of the country. We're expecting more snow for parts of the Northeast and Midwest, stretching all the way from Wisconsin and Michigan, through Pennsylvania and New York, and up into Maine. West Virginia, you're on that list for snow too. The National Weather Service is warning of heavy snow in the Northeast, with some rain and freezing rain possible in parts of the Mid-Atlantic. Snow will also be developing along the Appalachians. Out in the Pacific Northwest, we are tracking some very isolated thunderstorms along the coast as a series of weather impulses move eastward. A trough will push across western Washington, bringing moderate rainfall. The Northern Rockies will also get a taste of winter weather as this system passes through. Now, a serious note. Wind gusts could reach up to 50 miles per hour in some areas. This will create blowing snow and dangerous snow squalls, making travel extremely hazardous. Visibility could drop to near zero in those squalls, so please be careful. The Winter Storm Severity Index is showing significant impacts from this combination of snow and strong winds across a huge area. Moving on to Tuesday, February 10th. A system coming down from the north will bring light snow to parts of the northeast from Tuesday night into Wednesday. Further south, from the Ohio and Tennessee valleys into the southeast, you can expect light to moderate rain. There's a small chance of some mixed precipitation along the northern edge of that rain. But recent trends suggest it's less likely to be a widespread winter issue than we first thought. Meanwhile, a trough and a closed low are moving into California. This will bring much-needed rain and mountain snow to the state, which will then spread into the Great Basin by Wednesday. This system actually looks stronger than it did in earlier forecasts, so we're expecting higher rainfall totals and more snow at high elevations. This could definitely create some hazardous travel conditions on those mountain passes. Finally, let's look at Wednesday, February 11th. An upper low over northern Mexico will track into the southern plains and gradually weaken as it moves toward the southeast. This will spread precipitation across the south-central United States, up to the Ohio Valley, and into the southeast through the day. And it doesn't stop there. Behind this system, another trough looks set to dive down the west coast, bringing even more unsettled weather with it. It's going to be a very active few days across the country. Please stay safe, stay informed, and plan ahead. Thanks for watching, and we'll keep you updated as these systems develop.